Hello and welcome to this edition of FiTV. I'm your host, Brad Swanson. We are coming to you from the first day of the 2021 Florida legislative session. We are once again joined by our friend, Trimmel Gomes of the Florida Rotunda podcast, or the Rotunda podcast.
Rotunda podcast.
Excuse me, I added Florida in there, but you're bigger than that. We know. All right, before we even get into what's going on over there, during COVID, you have posted more incredible videos of just travels around the world. So you took this opportunity. So we're going to do a little bit of Anthony Bourdain-esque, where has Trimmel been? So tell us about your travels. Where have you been?
Well, I actually took advantage of traveling within our beautiful state here in Florida. Like, always traveling abroad and seeing the sights and
You
sounds.
couldn't do that during COVID, right?
No, we were locked down
Right.
for the brief lockdown that we had. So it's like going in your backyard, taking advantage of the parks, going to all the springs and all that Florida has to offer, especially the beautiful beaches.
With your storytelling ability, it was really kind of fun, and it was a great reprieve, if you will, from the stresses of what was going on because of COVID. Did you learn anything new on those travels?
That Florida is beautiful. You don't have to go abroad to appreciate what you have here. So it was really nice to understand and appreciate that we have all we need here in Florida compared to the bricks of a big city and like New York City and being locked in during the pandemic. I really appreciate it.
So it's no coincidence we're here at the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association, who represents the tourism industry. So are you saying that everyone should come to Florida and people in Florida should go consume the wonderful things that make up our tourism industry?
I will say it, and I will say it for a buck. If they want to pay me to say it too, why not?
Sounds good. I'm empty. I have no money. All right. Well, let's get down to the important stuff. Let's get down to what we're here for. When we think about the legislative kickoff today, what tones, what notes were you hearing? What do you want to talk about?
Well, we can't overlook that we're starting this session during a pandemic.
Of course.
So we're although we have vaccines and the rollout is going on and slowly people are getting vaccinated, this is unprecedented that we're here. So we're looking at the session through the lens of a pandemic and making it through. And unfortunately, we heard of like another lawmaker contracting COVID-19. So we're hoping that does not continue, but that is the backdrop throughout the next 60 days that we're going to be dealing with.
Certainly with this Republican-led governor's office, legislature, business recovery, economic recovery for the growth of the state certainly was the leading narrative amongst a bunch of different facets. But I think it's the first time we've seen a leading cabinet Democrat officer give a response to the governor's speech. I've never seen one of those in my career. What's your take on the agricultural commissioner Nikki Fried giving that?
That's a good point. The gubernatorial race is here and it's already started. So that's going to be the theme throughout this session. Every time Governor DeSantis does something, you'll see Ag Commissioner Fried with a response, as we've seen today. That drumbeat will continue to go through, and we're going to see other candidates look at Commissioner Fried's book and say, hey, we need to jump up and start going because she's out there. She jumped out of the gate and she's letting it known that she is a candidate.
So literally from before this even started, it's all about the gubernatorial race in 24 months from now.
Unfortunately, people are looking ahead. Like, you have the business at hand, but of course, political speak, they'll say, "Oh, we're focused on what we have right here," but they're those campaign coffers are filling up right now.
Well, we would be remiss in saying that those people advancing those ideas and those candidates shouldn't advertise on the Rotunda podcast or on the many members of Florida Internet and Television's members on cable as well. But we digress. Let's get back into it. So when you look at the governor's speech, the president of the Senate speech, and the Speaker of the House, top notes other than COVID pandemic, what was your takeaway from those three speeches?
Looking out for the business of Florida, making sure we recover from where we are right now. So that's the overarching notes, how we get to the end point, how we get to passing the budget and dealing with all the different personalities in that building. That's going to be what's going to keep us up and monitoring the whole process. So we hope we make it to an end without going overtime.
Trimmel, who are you looking for one of your first interviews this session? Who are you chasing?
I would love to have the governor and the leadership, all those who are in leadership position, to be on the program. And that's what the Rotunda is all about, is getting a chance to sit down with the people and issues shaping Florida politics. So those who want to pull out their phones and they have some downtime on the weekend, they can just listen to a nice 15-minute podcast.
Love it, love it. Well, I know we'll be listening, and we look forward to having you back on FiTV again soon to hear about your latest stories and maybe a few more travels.
Looking forward to it. Thanks for having me.
Trimmel, thanks for coming on. That's all the time we have for this episode. For more great interviews like this one, make sure you hit us up on our social media feed. And for now, thanks for tuning in.